it's Andy, and welcome to episode 6 of Musical Stories. It's a collection of humorous and sometimes tragic, but always funny stories about life as a musician. And in this week's episode, we're going to talk about the day I earned my honorary doctorate degree. And so here we go. So it was back in the day. I was taking a little break from teaching, and I had tried to, go into the real estate world and sell some real estate. And then I also, for a little while, worked at a restaurant/brewery. And the story goes that one day I was getting ready for work, and had to put on my uniform t-shirt, right? I had a t-shirt with the logo and stuff on it. And when I got hired at this place, they gave me 4 t-shirts and said, you got to wear your t-shirt every day with the logo on it. That was kind of your uniform, right? So I put my uniform shirt on, and I was ready to go to work, and it was going to be a long, like a 10-hour day, doing lots of stuff at the brewery, like, washing a lot of the stainless steel stuff. So it was not easy labor, but I had worked all week the previous week, in the restaurant/brewery, did lots of dishes, basically like washed the brewery equipment and stuff. And so I'd even gone in on a Sunday and done, the owner said, we're doing a huge double brew on Sunday, and so you can come help out if you want to. And I said, great, I'll do it. And so I was getting ready to go to work, and then I figured I would, as I walked out the door, I just, on a whim, opened up the mailbox, do we have any mail? There was some mail in there. It was kind of a large package, okay? And so I thought, well, I got a couple minutes. I'll just open this up and see what it is, and then I'll go to work. And I open it up, and it's like a document in a frame. And I was like, what is this? And I read the paperwork, and I looked through it, and it said, congratulations, Andy Schiller. You've been awarded an honorary doctorate from the Los Angeles Development Institute and Church. Thank you for your contribution to gospel music and your aid around the world. And so you deserve this. Make sure you hang it up proudly. And I went through the letter, and I looked through it, and I was like, how did I get this? I mean, did someone sent it to me? So I don't know what the story is. I'm not sure what happened. But anyway, I kind of set it aside and just put it in my back seat, hurried to work. And I got to work, and I did work all day, and I kind of got there, and the boss was there, and I was like, hey, guess what? I have something really cool to tell you about that I'm excited about. And he's like, yeah, save it for later. You got stuff to do. And so I went and did the stuff I needed to do. Got to the end of the day, and it was actually payday, because they paid once a week. I'd been there for, 8 days or something like that. And so it was time for the very first payday. So at the end of the day, I went into the office, and the boss was like, all right, time for your pay. All right, so you worked 40 hours this week. And I was like, don't forget, I came in on Sunday and worked 12 hours, because remember, double brew. And he said, I said you could come in to help. I didn't say I was going to pay you. And so I said, wait, I'm an employee. I work here. You said I could come in, and so you wanted me to just volunteer or help out because it's fun? Well, yeah. You weren't going to pay me for when I came in to do stuff for you? Nope, that was completely a volunteer day. Oh, so I don't get paid for that 12 hours? Nope. Okay, now let's settle up on your pay. So you make $4 an hour and you had 40 hours, and so it's $160, right? Yep. Okay, but you know, you need to pay for your t-shirts. Wait a second, you gave me those 4 t-shirts when I got hired. Yep, aren't you going to pay for them, or are you going to steal them, you thief? Okay, well, I looked over and there was a shelf of t-shirts there that you could buy, and I was like, well, I guess they're 25 bucks a piece. He's like, no, that's an old sign. They're 36. And I said, but right there it says you charge 25. Oh, we changed the price. They're 36. Okay. All right, fine. Well, I guess I'm buying the t-shirts. Oh, and by the way, you know, when you were doing some cooking, you know, we said previously that when you spend a 10-hour day in the restaurant portion and you do your cooking, that you could, you know, have lunch on your shift and stuff. But yeah, we're retroactively changing the rules, so you have to pay for your meals that you had. All right, so what do I pay for my meals? Half price? Nope, full menu price. Also, from now on, if you ever are a cook in the restaurant portion of the brewery, you can't eat any food. You have to order McDonald's delivery while you're cooking. Because, you know, we can't have you spending 75 cents of our hard-earned money on making yourself a pizza for lunch. You have to order McDonald's delivery while you're cooking. All right. Great, so how much is my paycheck this week? Well, he got out his calculator. Looks like you owe us 50 bucks for t-shirts and food. Your 40 hours didn't cover the amount of money it takes to buy that stuff. And so I owed him 50 bucks after a 52-hour work week. And so I was like, well, I don't have 50 bucks. He's like, well, go to the ATM and get it. I'll wait. I don't have 50 bucks anywhere, not in the bank account or whatever. He's like, well, you'll have to owe it to, you'll have to work it off, I guess. So at $4 an hour, it would take, you know, a couple days. And then he was like, so also I need a ride home. So come on, we're getting in your car and you're giving me a ride home. Okay. All right, so we hop in my car and we're driving over to his house. And he's like, so what was that thing that you were excited to tell me about? Well, I was excited because guess what? I earned my honorary doctorate today in gospel music, and I'm going to go home and hang this up on the wall. I showed him. It was in the back seat. He's like, you know, you need to stop having these delusions. I expect you to be there at work tomorrow and wash those dishes, and don't let me hear about how you're so great or you think you know stuff. You got to get that work done. Now get in there and get it done. And then we were at his house, and he got out and he didn't even say thank you for the ride. He just left. And then, so the rest of the story is, so I got home and I was like, what's happening with this thing? And I went through the letter of this doctorate thing more, and I finally found at the bottom, thanks for your song contribution, and I saw the name of the song, and I was like, I know what this is. And so then I grabbed my phone and I wrote my friend Mike a text. And Mike lives out west, okay? Mike is a producer of music. He's done a lot of famous acts, and he's had acts on the iTunes Top 10, and he records singles and has a recording studio. And I wrote him a text and I was like, hey Mike, remember that gospel CD that we did a while back? So did that ever take off or what? And he wrote me back, he's like, Andy, check the iTunes Top 10. And so I looked on the iTunes Top 10, I'm like, I'm not seeing it. And he wrote back, Andy, the iTunes top 10 has a pop music top 10, but then they have religious music like gospel, praise and worship top 10. It's a separate category, okay? And then I remembered, that South Park episode where Cartman is like, I'm going to get a gold record, but in Christian music, it's not a gold record, it's like myrrh or something. It's a separate category, right? So I check it, and top 3 spots are songs from that album we did where I played mandolin and Mike was the producer. And it was a really cool, really hip kind of acoustic rock, positive message kind of music. And when the time came to put together the paperwork and sign the contracts, there was a box where you could just say, I just want all my songwriting royalties and all the performance royalties and all the publishing royalties to just go to this this charity. And what they do is they dig wells in African villages, and they have this big truck, they fly over there, and it drives around and it drills a well. And so there's places where people walk a mile to get a bucket of water and carry it all the way back, and that's all the water they have for the whole day, because it's like a desert. And so if there's a well in the village, then it really changes the people's lifestyle. They don't have to walk so much, they don't have to maybe drink contaminated water. And so by having a well, it carries them from the Stone Age into the 1800s at least, And so it really makes a big difference in their lives. And so if you can dig a well for $5,000, imagine what you can do with $1 million. You can really dig a lot of wells. And so I just donated the money to the organization. And the rest of the story is I ended up getting that doctorate degree because someone put my name into the hat and said, he deserves it because he did all this work on this disc and didn't take a single dollar. And so I didn't ask for it, but it was given to me, and that's the end of the story. And so I hope you enjoyed that one, and we'll see you again in episode 7.